Dave's still top of the league, County the highest ranked side in the FA Cup this week, and we think for the first time ever. Doesn't matter too much at this stage, but it must be a good feeling regardless.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no difference. We've obviously got an important game, got ourselves into a decent position. Teams have got games to catch up on us, if you like, and may say the position's false at the minute until everyone catches up with games, but we're in a good place and we'll try and stay there for as long as we can.
Almost strange to say when you are sat top of the table, but does it still feel like there's a lot more to come from the team? Like there's still a couple of gears still to click
Oh, there's
through?
loads more to come from the team, and that will happen with the current group that we've got, and it will happen when Dodgson, Teo, R2, Beatty, Brad all come back into that alongside us. So hopefully we can get to a place where everybody's in the squad is fit, and we've then got real competition and real quality. To be in the situation we are with the adversity we've had over the first part of the season is a massive testament to the players. We've done what we, I suppose, done really well normally at the back end of the season more than most, and we found a way. And we found our way to a, like I say, really positive position in the league, and looking forward to a cup game at the weekend.
It's 4 years on Sunday since your appointment as county manager. A lot of success in that time. Are you still enjoying it as much as ever?
Yeah, I've said before. I think currently where I'm at is that we've moved forward an awful lot, but there's still an awful lot of movement. Hopefully further forward, and still trying to progress up the leagues. We know that it's always going to be tough. There's challenges every year, but I think as a club, as a group, as a management team, we're always learning. We're always trying to get better. We're always trying to evolve, and we've managed to do that while still having success.
One player I wanted to ask you about, Tyler Onyango, I thought was outstanding on Monday night. Obviously sets up the first goal. I think you saw glimpses towards the end of his first spell here as to what he would be capable of, but seems to have gone up another level since returning. What do you put that down to?
Um, Tyler's a good player. The biggest, it's not an issue for us, but the biggest issue for Tyler is what and where he plays over an extended period, what position on the pitch, because he's naturally been a midfielder growing up. Everton sort of saw the potential for him to maybe become a centre back. In our system, we'd probably describe him a little bit of a versatile right, somebody that can play right-sided centre back, right wing back because of his physicality, but of course also play in midfield. What he's got to do with all them things is he's learning a new position, and there are different requirements for that position. So he's not a wing back. He's not a natural crosser of the ball because he's never had to do it in the position he plays. He's always been in the middle of the pitch. Playing as a centre back, for his size, he needs to be better aerially, which again is a new skill that not just him, probably the majority of people in modern day football need to improve and need to get better at. So the positives are his physicality will allow him to play in lots of different positions with a real high ceiling. But he's still got loads and loads of development within that, because wherever he plays at the moment, he is learning a new position and learning a new position on the job in League One, which is a real positive.
On the other flank, you've obviously had Ben Osborne doing very well out there, and he's been needed, I suppose, with the options you've had unavailable. With Dodge back now, you do have the option, should you want to move him into midfield. Is that something you'd like to do in the long run?
Um, we'll see what happens. Again, I wouldn't say I'd like to do anything. Would I like to have the options to do it? Yeah, of course. Ultimately, we want to get to a position where everybody's fit and there's real competition for places. Ozzy's played an awful amount of football. We probably brought him in thinking he could do a job in midfield for us, knowing he could do a job at left back or left wing back, and have other options. We've not had them options, so he's been asked to basically play every minute. And it's probably done in the world of good. It's probably the longest extended period he had playing football for some time, really, which will only benefit him in the long run. But to just, I suppose, have the comfort of being able to change things if you need to change things makes us a lot more relaxed. So you're not sort of waiting for something to go wrong and then sort of having to be reactive and I wouldn't say panic, but look for different options to play there. Because like I said, I think the versatility of our squad make that transition and has made us, I suppose, be able to get through this period. Corey could play on the opposite side and play as a left wing back. Fevs could play as a left wing back. Fevs can play as a right wing back. If we needed to, with the centre half we could push Ethan round and play Ethan as a left back. I think that's the massive benefits that we have within our squad, is the versatility of the players to go into positions and be able to do a job and not be completely square pegs in round holes, if you like. And we'll continue to need that while we've got people injured. Hopefully, like I say, we get to a point where everybody's fit and we can make choices based on people's best positions and who's performing the best at a certain time.
Potentially a 100th appearance for Odin Bailey at the weekend. Just a word on him and how I suppose he's almost revived his county career recently, playing in that deeper role next to Ollie Norwood.
Yeah, I'm not sure revived his career is the way to say it. We've got massive competition within our squad, and there can always be an argument to say that if everybody's fit, what does our best 11 look like? And I think within that, because of the quality we've got, everyone will have a different opinion. There's massive competition at the top end of the pitch, and if you're at the top end of the pitch, then you're going to be judged on numbers, goals and assists and goal involvements. Odin's probably another one that fits into the box of what is his best position, what is his strongest position. He's comfortable on the ball. When he's played higher up, he's had some goal involvements, but he'd probably want more. He's someone that can handle the ball, can make passes. In our setup, his attributes suit that really, really well. In other teams, that wouldn't suit, and he'd be a threat in different areas in other teams. He's another one though that can play in lots and lots of different positions because he's a good footballer and understands the game. So that combination in there is, like I say, they've done really, really well, and long may that continue.
Touching on injuries, has everyone come through this week unscathed, and what's the latest on Malik?
Yeah, I think we're okay. There's nothing been flagged up. Mal's still outside on the grass and still running. There's just certain things that sort of aggravate him a little bit and irritate things. So we've got to, I suppose, especially with what we've got coming up, we maybe can be a little bit careful. You look at this game, then obviously we have the game against Luton, and then we play the Virtue Trophy game against Wigan, and then we don't play because the Wimbledon game's been called off. So fingers crossed we can, I suppose, maybe a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. And if we need to include Mal, then we can do, but we've got opportunity of having 9 subs this weekend that we really need to risk anything. And I suppose the biggest hope for my side at the moment would be to have him starting in that Wigan game, and then after that game, give us 10 days until or maybe a week, depending on what happens with the Peterborough game, a week to 10 days to get him more training and hopefully stop any of those little niggles, because we want to get him back as soon as possible.
In terms of the FA Cup, you obviously had that good experience of going to Palace last season, who went on to win the competition. How much would you like another cup run this season? How important is it?
Yeah, of course we would. It brings so many benefits, whether it be, as you say, sort of the opportunity to perform nationally at different clubs and show other teams what you're about. The media aspect of it in terms of the club, the prize money is hugely beneficial. I think it's an opportunity for us as a group to give back a little bit. It's great for the supporters, especially everyone coming in at the first round stage. For me, the objective would always be to try and get to the third round and get a big draw. We're fortunate in the fact that Mark's invested heavily in the football club. It would be great to I suppose reward his involvement by getting a big draw and trying to drag some money back into the coffers, and I suppose show the appreciation. This competition allows us to be able to do that in the biggest way. You're obviously reliant on some balls coming out of um, a bowl and being put in certain places. But in order to do that and give that a potential, you have to win a game of football, and we'll try and do that on Saturday.
There are obviously players who need minutes at the minute. Campsey, Fevs, Owen Moxon. Can we expect many changes on Saturday?
We'll see. As much as what we have done is we've built up some momentum. We want to carry on that momentum. Um, we had I suppose a Saturday to Saturday week. This week's been a little bit different with the game being on Monday. There obviously are players that need minutes, but there also is a real desire for us to want to progress in the competition. So we'll make a judgment. As I've said before with these games, you look at it and go, importance wise, if you have to pick, would you rather win the game on Saturday or win the game next Saturday against Luton? You're definitely going to pick next Saturday against Luton, but we're not in that situation, and we can have the desire to win both, and that's what we'll try and do. What we won't do is risk anyone that might have something that is a potential niggle. But there's always risk involved in it. You look at, again, team selection in some of the League Cup games last night, teams changing, and not progressing, and then potentially thinking, was that the right decision after the game? You'll never know. There's risk involved. We could pick a team on Saturday and could pick up an injury or something that might rule some out for the Luton game, and you may, in hindsight, say you shouldn't have done that. You've got to deal with the game that's in front of us. The game in front of us is an FA Cup game at Tranmere, which is one that we're really looking forward to, and one that we're going to try and go and win.
As we touched on Monday, going back to Tranmere, always special for you. You know all about the club. What have you made of them so far this season? They had that difficult run through September, but the last few weeks seem to have come out the other side of it.
Yeah, they've drawn a lot of games, and draws are fine if they're, I suppose, intermittent with wins, and that's not really been the case. But they've had a decent run going to Bristol Rovers and obviously winning comfortably. Last two league games they've drawn. I've watched both of them. And probably could think they maybe should have got more out of those games. But they're not in a position that they want to be in the league, and they'll be of a similar, I suppose, mindset of us to say this is a cup competition. As much as we're looking at momentum and trying to keep momentum, cup competitions, and they are a little bit because of the last few results, but they can kickstart momentum, and results that you might get in a cup competition can certainly boost you. So they're at home, they'll be looking to win the game. As you say, it's always great to go back there. Similar to here, a lot of people work there that were there 25 years ago when I was there, and a little bit longer. So it's always good to go back. Like I say, really good memories of that ground. And hopefully Saturday's another good memory for us.
Appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
Welcome, cheers, thank you.